Okay, guys, so we got a brand new evolution. It's actually a very important evolution. Mold your favorite left back into an efficient playmaker. It's either rewarding stat boost, a new centre mid position, very, very important here. 2 roll plus pluses and a ping pass plus. Now, one card that I saved ages ago was this Rolfo card, and now I'm absolutely loving it because she's going to get the centre mid position. This is a very, very important evolution. Now, this Rolfo card, I think I purchased her for 20k or whatever I did. She's going to skyrocket right now because she's going to be so expensive. And I also got her untradeable. But this is the thing. What you're doing initially is you're making a card a centre mid, +4 dribbling, +4 physical, and a pinged playstyle, which is very, very important for centre mids, don't forget. And then we go over to the second option where we get the incisive pass as well, defending, and a skill moves upgrade, and the ability to play holding centre mid. Very good for those 4-4-2s as well. And then we get the +3 pace capped at 90. The 1 for the weak foot, again, capped at 4-star. Relentless, which is decent for centre mid. And then we are going for the press proven and ping playstyle plus. Very, very important playstyle. There's actually quite a lot of players that you could actually put in this. And I've been keeping a lot of cards. Someone like Mendy, do I want to maybe play him in centre mid? Yes, like this Gavardiol card I kept for a very long time. I can now also play him in centre mid. So there's actually so many cards. Even this Diego Dalot card will fit with my Militao. So depending on what evolutions you've done and what you've kept, this can be very, very important. Now we're going to go ahead and have a look at foot.gg. I'm probably guessing that most of the cards are going to be sold out if you're asking me personally speaking. I think that Rolfo card, thankfully, I actually bought it for the evolution before and I ran out of time on my main account. And you can see 89 Rolfo, that's the card that I was talking about. And she is basically probably going to be extinct. She's already extinct. I think someone kind of got the memo. Like you can see people reacting. Thankfully, I bought it ages ago. But look, she is one of the best cards you can get money can buy. Jockey Playstyle Plus, pinged pass. There's not that many centimeters of Jockey Playstyle Plus. With that defensive awareness and that sprint speed, you're talking a very good caliber card. And she has incisive passing. With those passing stats, I think she's one of the best if you're asking me. I think for 40k for a free upgrade, I'm just going to double check. It is free if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is one of the best cards that money can buy. There's also so many other good cards. I've talked about the Gavardiol. I've got a different Gavardiol. So my Gavardiol can play basically left back, centre back, and centre mid anyway. But you can see mine had a bit better pace. So I'm saving. This is what also I've done as well in advance. I've saved a lot of these cards that potentially I can upgrade in the future. I've kept them here. So you can see like Gavardiol. Even Kadioglu was my day one evolution. I'm waiting for the right time. But you know what? Even him as a centre mid could be actually a very decent option. However, I'm probably going to save for Rolfo. You still, look, worst case scenario, you have your 13 days. Maybe there might be another card combination that you can do as well. But that is also a very, very good card. Gavardiol is a good one. Kirkez. Now, this is another interesting card as well. Now, what's interesting here, for a second, I just got confused. I thought everyone was getting Jockey Playstyle Plus for a second. I was getting confused. But this Kirkez card is very interesting because, you see, if you're looking for a centre mid that can pass, I think going for a player with high defensive awareness, high sprint speed is also very, very important. I can imagine this being quite a popular choice for those Premier League centre mids, probably going to be near getting extinct very, very soon. Sergio Gomez, another very decent card, a good all-rounder card. Probably doesn't need it though. But the ability to play centre mid, there's so many left backs and right backs. Most of the time in FC, a left back and right back, like if you played pro clubs back in the day, if you remember, like back in the days, you used Marcelo in striker, like team of the year Trent in centre mid. They have centre mid worthy stats. You can see this, the Kadioglu. I think this card is still a bit pricey, but you can go with even the gold card, to be honest. But I think this card is a bit too pricey at 103k. A lot of the left backs and right backs, Lewis Skelly. That's going to be an interesting one. The thing is, I wish you could, I wish there was an option for you to remove the existing playstyles, or at least choose one of the existing playstyles you have and replace them with a new one, because that would be very, very interesting. And then, is there anyone else that really stands out for me? But you could think he could already play CDM if I'm not mistaken, but couldn't play centre mid. Owner's actually not a bad one either, to be fair. The only downside with her, she's a bit short. So in a centre mid, although her stats on paper look, she looks very, very good. I think she should be a good attacking centre mid if you want that in that agility and balance. She's got the regular jockey playstyle, to be honest. But at 5'3", I think she's just cutting it a bit too short. Is there anyone else that really stands out for me? That's what I'll look at before we look at the most popular. Cucurella. We'll open Footbin as well. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna do my before we go into the most popular card while they get updated, we're going to look for... Oh, it's Stupinian. You know what? That's actually a very nice card. I think these cards also I can play CDM. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of some filtering here. We're going to look for complete centre mids. This is what I think we're going to look for. So I'm going to do some quick filtering here. We're going to go with a typical filter that I would normally go with. 85 sprint speed, and we're going to go defensive awareness 85. We're going to use this as a good baseline to see the minimum stats. So anyone here would be a good card. Anyone here that can play CDM is a +1. Olga, she's not a bad card either. You know what? To be honest, she could be better than Rolfo. She could be better than Rolfo. The only downside... Let's have a quick look here. Let's have a quick look at these cards. Let's actually have a quick look, because some of these cards are very, very similar. So Olga is much faster. Maybe should I buy her quickly? You know what? Let me just quickly buy her. Before, because I would want the option. Let me just quickly buy her. Oh my god, I might be too late. I guarantee you there's someone else doing exactly what I'm doing, and traders that are trying to buy the market. This will give you an example. So let's see. Is she on? Please be available. Please be available. Okay, beautiful she is. Masses haven't found her yet. The masses haven't found her yet. But she's going up in price. She is going up in price. There we go. I thought I wouldn't get that. I thought that snipe was a bit too slow. But yeah, this is what I do at 6 p.m. I improvise, you know. I just saw her then and there. I think, look, I'm not going to do her, probably speaking. 5'3", best case scenario, I sell her for a bit of profit. Her price range has gone up now. But she's 5'3". But she's actually a good option, because when I look at her, I'm looking at these two stats comparatively, and I'm thinking, okay, they're both very identical. The 5-star weak foot is better on Rolfo. Look, I think Rolfo has a better stature and she's got a better playstyles, right? But I think realistically speaking, if I was to compare these two cards, you can see that much greater sprint speed on Olga. And I can use it as a left back or a left wing. Now, you're going to be thinking, why would you want this? Now, this is very, very important, okay? One of the metas that people don't talk about, and you're going to see a lot more on the pro level soon, that's your striker, is moving the ball from your wingers, or let's say, make it a bit more accurate, the left wing and right wings being behind the striker and a cam, is doing ping passes to the striker. So to be honest, this Olga card, and also left backs when they commit going forward, can do a ping pass to the striker. So you know what? It's someone that I may have in contention here. I'll be honest, I'm very much looking at her and I'm thinking she's a very good card. She's got, of course, they both got quick step, and she has rapid as well. No, she doesn't have quick step, sorry. But again, she's a very good card. I'm not too sure which one I want to do here. So luckily I just purchased that card just now, because that is definitely a good outlet option. We'll quickly run through some of these other cards that I talked about. Kadioglu, 4 is not a bad card either. The main leagues as well. If you've done this card and you haven't evolved him, he's not a bad card either. 5'11". McGabe I've talked about as well. Nuno Tavares, actually not a bad card either. Now Nuno Tavares is very interesting because he could play as a left wing, as a pinged pass. That's another option as well. Is anyone here? Sessegnon is actually a decent card if you have the off leagues. Hansen. So to be honest, O'Hara, she's another very good card. There's Robertson, actually. That's actually a good one. Especially if you got a left back going forward. This is also something to take into account. Cole, I think, is decent, but I think maybe his stats are a bit too slow. Bombito, if you have him, you have him. Can like the defense awareness. I think, honestly, guys, I think there's so many decent cards here. I think you got to be quick. I would say, look, hastily don't make your decision because we still have some time. Hopefully you can get either Olga or Rolfo, either one of those. But if you're not, don't panic because you still got 13 days. There could be another combination on Friday. There could be more cards coming out. This is why I always wait. But again, if you want to hastily do it and make a rush, that's completely up to you. We're just going to do one final check. We're going to put the sprints. We're going to put the sprint speed. We're going to put the real meta players here. We're going to put this to 85, and we're going to put this to 85 like this. Who's the real standout players here? So Kirkus, Kadioglu, Paula Thomas is actually a good card. Is there anyone that's very well rounded? So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the last thing here. We're just going to put the shoot. We're going to put the long shots. We're going to put the long shots at 80. Let's just see if there's anyone here that can break the barrier here. Kind of pushing it with an 80 finishing. I don't think there's anyone. So there's a few players. That's why Olga is very, very important. She's not a bad card, but she's not in isolation. There's actually so many other cards. This Tavares card, if you did it, if you got him or whatever, season points, you're laughing. I think we're going to reduce the sprints. The final check that we do here before we go to popular. Grimaldo, not a bad option either, to be fair. Not a bad option. Because I'm looking at these centre mids that can go inside the box late. But apart from that, there's Hall as well. So you got to put him in methodical midfielder. So that's basically done. So you know what? There is actually some decent players here. Some really good actual gems here. We're going to just, before one last filter I'm actually going to do. There's actually some really, so all the cards that you're seeing here, they all have a use case. Oh my God, he's got a tiki-taka playstyle as well. Oh my God, this is actually a very interesting card, guys. Very, very interesting. This card is very underrated. A lot of the, I'll be honest. Tiki-taka and pinged pass. Wow, if only he could play Cam. Wow, wow, wow. That is actually a very important card. Trust me, if you can't afford him one, his pace is a bit slow, but I think that's actually a very important card. You will know what I'm talking about, especially if you're mechanic abusing. And she's a combination card, but she doesn't look too bad either. So you know what? There's actually some real nice standout cards here. McKenny as well. Brady. So you know what? It's going to depend on your use case. I think realistically, there's a few good cards. Some of them are going to be extinct, like the Olga. You can try to snipe those cards. McKenny's pretty decent as well. We're going to look at just a final evolution here. Because I don't want to make this into a documentary as normally ends up being. The trending players are Theo Hernandez. Could also get evolved. What? How did I miss that? But his defensive awareness is a bit on the slow side. I think he's a very good left back, and I think the pink pass makes him insane, and he's probably going to be bloody extinct again. Yes, he's bloody going to be extinct, but I think as a centre mid, I think he's a decent box to box. The only thing that lets him down is that finishing. If he doesn't go inside the box, he's fine. But the defensive awareness, I think is a bit too, you know, if you just want to send him in and get the job done, it's fine. Samuel Lino. So these cards are more of like, okay, they're very attacking cards. Zambrotta. So now we're going to go towards the attacking cards. I was mainly looking at the defensive stance. I think there's much better attacking cards anyway, if you're asking me personally speaking, at centre mid. And that is where I think maybe the use case of it, unless you can find a specific player, it's not really as powerful. Davies could be used. But I said, look, when I'm looking for a centre mid, I'm really looking for the top tier defensive awarenesses and stuff like that. That is personally what I'm looking for. I'm putting defensive awareness as the priority here. But bringing some of these players to have these ping passes is actually very, very interesting, and buffing some of these cards up. But I just want to show you one thing before I go, right? Just one thing before I go. Before we go into another... we go just quickly over here. We go to select evolution. This one's called Playmaker's Mind. Hernandez, Lewis, Skelly. Mendy, we talked about Mendy at the beginning. So a few of these cards, Guerrero, another very, very good card. We talked about him. I think people are going to realize this guy's going to push up even more. One thing I want to say is, look, when you're getting these cards, let's just say we search for some players here. Let's say we search now for a player that's, let's say they have finishing stats at, let's say 85. And we're going to put long shots at 85. We're going to purely focus on center mids here. There's actually some good, well-rounded cards. I've got really good stats. In fact, let's say you don't even need the defensive awareness like Fowdy and all that stuff. McAllister, a new card. Those are cards that we have already. But to be honest, if we get rid of the defensive awareness, there's so many attacking center mids that have got good shooting stats. Whether some of them have the ping pass, that's the only thing that you're basically... Look, Rolfo, I can think is a... That normal Rofo card is one that I'm thinking of, and so on. Maybe the long shots are pushing it, but there's actually, you have a Vitinha already. You've and we're gonna, let's push this to 80. Finishing 85 is a bit pushing it, but there's so many Douglas Louis. There's so many other good cards. So I think be wise in what you do. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and of course, catch you next time. Peace.